Gregorio, hello, how are you? Welcome to Irapuato again.
Estoy bien, muchas gracias. Estoy feliz para estar aquí en muy chingón Irapuato.
It's time to question what you think about Mexico, first of all, and Irapuato.
Hoy es mi my third time
Yep.
aquí en Irapuato. Y every time I come to Irapuato, I have a really good time. I like the people here that I've met, and I love that the best strawberries on earth come from this beautiful city. And about Mexico, Mexico es mi casa. Vivo aquí por 6 años. I'm from the United States. The honeymoon is over. For a lot of foreigners, they live this life of everything's great, everything's wonderful, but they don't really know the reality. And so when I say the honeymoon is over, it means I live life like people who work hard and people who have to pay for their food and their things every day. And so that's how I live. And additionally, I think it's important to be honest. From a perspective of an extranjero, I can say, Te amo, Mexico. And Mexico is a very complicated place with lots of injustice and unfairness. And I hope that everything will continue to get better for everybody so all people can experience peace and stability and safety and security and love and a good future.
What things, or there's something that you really don't like about Mexico or about this town?
Well, I like every place I go in Mexico. Every town is good for me. But the truth is, my problem, or what I don't like, is what most other people also don't like, which is injustice. And I come from a different place, and I can see it. And so because I can see it, I can feel it, and I can know it. And if I can see it, and I can feel it, and I can know it, and this injustice, this unfairness, then it means that other people are experiencing it. And so in my heart, I feel that. And I feel that pain, and I also experience it myself. So I'd like to see justice for marginalized people and for people who have less, because everyone deserves a chance to live a beautiful life. And myself included, and everyone who's watching this interview, and everyone in Irapuato, and everyone in Guanajuato, and everyone in total partes de este país. Everyone deserves a chance, and I want all people, especially people who have less, to have a better life.
Perfect. And another things, what do you think about the food in here? What you like to eat in this country? How you have fun in this place?
Well, the food in Mexico is always an adventure. You can say that traveling around Mexico and eating the food and trying the flavors is a culinary vacation.
Yep.
And so one thing I love about Mexico is that you can go from city to city or town to town, and the flavors are different, or the names of the food are different, or the style of preparing the food is different. And so in my pueblo where I live in Morelos, we have an ancestral food called itacate. It's a triangle shape. It's made of maize and manteca and some other delicious things. And we have it in blue, maize azul or white. I always have mine with Cecina de Yecapixtla because I'm from Morelos, or I live in Morelos. And so I love the food of my town. And I love that I can come here to Irapuato and eat the food here and taste the flavors. And I guarantee you that tonight, or before I leave tomorrow, I'm going to have a volcan in my stomach, and some tacos, and probablemente una papa con asada. I think so.
Great.
Yeah.
What,
Perdón. Y yo necesito comer fresas con crema porque I am in Irapuato.
Perfect, perfect. What do you think about the spicy food? Do you like spicy food? Or
I am an expert.
perfect.
I challenge anybody to
Try it.
a spicy salsa eating contest. And so if you want to challenge me, I'll buy the 6 tacos if I lose the hot salsa eating contest, but if I win, you're paying for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm talking about all these things that brings you here with your book, with this kind of experiment that's going to be tonight with all the people. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing try to understand for other people. Can we recover from a bad experience?
In English,
Yep. Please.
currently, we use the word recover to describe a process of living with and coping with and managing the traumatic things that have happened to us. For a long time, the word recovery or recover in this context was only applied to people with problems with alcohol and drugs.
Yep.
But as we know, it's fair to say that the majority of people who have problems with alcohol and drugs have a trauma within them, something that happened to them maybe when they were young or when they were a teenager, or something their parents did, or they had an accident or a violent thing happened. And then they become different, they are changed. And so then they might develop addiction problem. So with that said, in this context, I'm speaking about recovery as in learning to live with the things that happened to you and the ways the traumas impacted you or changed you. So it is 100% possible to, in this context, recover, meaning you could have all these bad things happen to you, but you can transform yourself into the person that you want to be and the person that you deserve to be since you were born. And just because some bad things happened to you, or somebody hurt you, or you had a horrible loss, or you experienced violence or abuse in your family or anywhere, you still have it within you, inside your heart, and inside your brain, and inside your spirit and your soul, to take control of your life. So with that said, yes, anybody can take all these things that happen to them and then transform themselves and recover. But it's a process. So it's not like you broke your bone and you put it in a cast and then they fixed it and then 6 months later you're good. It's different than that. It's an ongoing, lifelong process of learning how to be okay and to be better, and day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute.
Yeah. It's not immediately. Bueno, inmediato no es. No es rápido.
Sí, it's a lifelong process. You know, but we have to do it if we want to be happy, and we have to choose. So usually a person has to be really broken down or beaten down to the ground and lose, and suffer to finally, look at yourself in the mirror, say, I don't like myself anymore, or I don't like the person that I am because of all these things, including my own reactions to what's happened to me. It's my responsibility. I can hold other people responsible for whoever may have hurt me or whatever they did, but it's my responsibility to take care of me. It's my responsibility to heal. It's my responsibility to be accountable. So if I'm accountable, if I make the choice to be better, then I have power. And everyone watching this interview right now also has power within their heart and their brain and their spirit and their soul to take all the things that happen to you and transform yourself to whoever you want to be. And you can do it. You can succeed.
And with this, how do you starting to write a guide like this? And what do you have seen in the people that read your guide?
Well, I'll answer your second question first.
Okay.
Yesterday, I received a message from an amiga in Puebla, who I met during a presentation, much like we're going to have here tonight in Irapuato. And she got a copy of this book that you're asking me about, La Guía de Craig Lewis para Sobre, algo imposible. And she wrote to me, she said, I started reading your book, and it's great that you're talking about self-love, about coping with your own issues, becoming the best person you can be, because we put a lot of focus on fighting against injustice. And I know I spoke about injustice a few minutes ago, and fighting against injustice is important. However, we need to be healthy, happy, stable, and well. We need to be able to take care of ourselves. We need to be able to care for our lives. And that requires us to care for ourselves. And so she acknowledged that this is something we don't really talk about. So I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to come here tonight and to go to other places as a rebel, as a punk rocker, as a human rights defender, as a survivor, and bring these ideas of personal revolution or personal liberation to the people. So I know that impact is real, because that woman read the book and she let me know that this is what we need. This is something that she needs and other people need. So I'm grateful that I can contribute that. And how did I write this book? Well, in 2018, I lost my home, and I lost everything I had back in the United States because I told the truth about my life. I told the truth about what happened to me, and I told the truth about the fact I wanted to be happy and free and well, and that there were people who didn't want that, people who had hurt me when I was younger. And so when I realized that my life was collapsing in the United States, and I knew that I was going to live on the street or have to go to a homeless shelter, or maybe I'd get arrested and horrible things would happen to me, I said, I don't think so. I'm gonna leave here. And so I bought a one-way plane ticket to Paris, France, and I began a new life. And I spent the next year and a half or so traveling from country to country in Europe and in other places, trying to figure out who I was. And during that process, I wrote about my experiences. I wrote about what I wanted to heal from. I wrote about what was making me feel sick inside. And that was the process of this book becoming a reality. And now we have it in Spanish, as well as French and Portuguese. And I wrote it originally in my native English.
Right. So in too much languages. Yeah. So with your experience and the exercise to write this book, what do you see in people? There's on the outside bad people or just grown people?
I think most people, and I know we're in Irapuato and it's complicated. I think most people are good in their heart. I think a lot of people learn that in order to survive, they have to be a certain way. When people do things that hurt other people, it's usually, or maybe it's the result of them being hurt themselves, or they were taught a certain way. They were taught violence in the home. They were taught abuse or misogyny in the home, and they don't know better. I mean, they should know better, because we should all know better, but sometimes we don't. I mean, sometimes we don't learn these lessons. Sometimes we don't have healthy parents who provide lessons of how to be. Sometimes the trauma that happened to our parents and our grandparents and people going back tens and hundreds of years, that continues on in our lives through our families until we decide to stop it. So uh, I choose to stop it, and I pay a consequence for that. So there are some people in this world who are sick, and there are people in this world who do horrible things to other people. I'm not inside their brain. I don't know what they think. But I know that I want to stay far away from people who are abusive and violent and exploitative. And one thing I know about Mexico is that it's difficult to get away from people here who are negative or dangerous. And we have to forgive ourselves for how we've reacted to the bad things that have happened to us, and try to not condemn other people for their reactions to what happened to them or what was done to them, which indicates someone intentionally hurt you or hurt you without caring about how they hurt you. And that's a very difficult thing to cope with. We have a saying in English, an idiom, that something is a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And so it's really difficult to accept that things are screwed up and unfair. But we all have the power to be the best we can be. And so even for people who have done bad things, yeah, I've done bad things too, but we all have the power to become better. And so I try to be understanding and forgiving and compassionate toward people with, like we say in English, who have bad behavior, because maybe they're just hurt. Maybe they never learned. And maybe we can show them a better way, and maybe they can transform their lives. So I don't like thinking that people are bad, but I know that there are a lot of hurt people out there who hurt other people, and I think we can all be better.
Right. Amazing answer. How much did the punk and the DIY ideology helps you to write this?
I've been a punk rocker since 1988. I mean, I was 14 years old when I first was introduced to hardcore punk music. But because I grew up in such a dysfunctional way, because I grew up without parents, because I grew up in places where they put children, and when the parents say the children's bad, I went through some horrible abuses, and I was tortured in all sorts of ways, and finding punk rock and finding the community of people who believe in trying to do things yourselves and have mutual support and helping lift the people up, having a ethics about respecting other people, which is part of the punk rock world. It was, and it still is in many ways, in some ways. That gave me a chance because I could find people like me, maybe not with the same experiences, but people who wanted to see the world become a better place and have our communities improve. So without question, punk rock gave me this opportunity because it taught me how to do things. So I'm here today in Irapuato because of punk rock. I was in Salamanca last night because of punk rock. I gave a similar presentation in Greece because of punk rock,
Yeah.
and in Nicaragua because of punk rock, and in Los Angeles, California, and Dublin, Ireland. It's all the same. We have something beautiful, and that's why I'm here. Thank you, punk rock.
So, in general, what are your influences in your life?
There was a man who survived Auschwitz during the Holocaust. His name is Viktor Frankl. In English, he authored a book about his experiences of learning to find happiness and peace while he was a prisoner inside a concentration camp, watching people having their lives be destroyed and having their will to be a good person, to live, just stolen from them. And he found a way to have peace amongst all the chaos. He found a way to recognize beauty among all the destruction. He found a way to found happiness while surrounded by pain. He could appreciate the flower that was growing by the edge of the electric fence, that if he touched it, or if another person touched it, they'd be electrocuted and died. But he could go look at it and say that flower is life. That flower is beautiful. You could see a bird flying overhead amongst thousands of people being contained in a death camp, where people are scared and miserable, and many of them know they're going to be killed. They're going to lose everything. They've already been demoralized. But he could look up at the sky and say, that bird is beautiful. That bird's going to go get a worm to give to its babies. And even though I'm stuck here, and even though all this hell is happening, I can still value and appreciate the beauty that mother bird, or whoever, the father bird, is bringing some food to the babies. And life goes on. And so Viktor Frankl, who wrote this book in English called, I know it in English. He wrote it in his, I think, Polish or whatever language he spoke. It's also available in Spanish, of course. He talked about this. He talked about this revolution that a person can have in the darkest and most painful moments of their life. And so he's always on my shoulder, usually. Say, hey, remember why you're here. Remember why you're alive. And that helps me. That's an influence that you can't see it, but it's right here. And to know that there are people who have survived horrible, horrific things, and they went on to make the world a better place, and they took the things that happened to them, the horrible, destructive things that happened to them, that I can relate with personally. I personally relate with the violence and the trauma and the poverty and the destruction and the abandonment and the abuse. I relate with it because I experienced it. Different from anyone else watching this interview, different from anyone else in this city who has experienced violence, and anyone in this country and anyone in the world who has experienced horrible things. Respect to you and what happened to you. Animo. I speak from my own experience here. I know too much about the violence and the trauma and the pain, and I can speak openly here and say to you eye to eye, you have the power to transform yourself. I'm just one person. I'm just one person who found a way. And so there are millions of people who inspire me every day to do the best I can be, not just Viktor Frankl, the bird whispering in my ear. Because anybody who gets up every day and does their very best to make the world a better place, to fight for their children, to fight for their rights, to fight for their dignity, they have my respect, and they influence me. They make me want to be better. So thank you to you.
Thanks. So getting closer to the end of this interview, I want to ask you now, in this time, in these days, what makes you feel afraid, and what makes you happy?
What makes me feel afraid and what makes me feel happy?
Yeah. Right, in these days?
No, this is perfect. There's a guy in Morelos who threatened me, and he really scares me. And so my life got really screwed up because like we were talking earlier about bad people. Yeah, I found one. I found a bad person, and he made me really, really sick with his behavior toward me. And so I'm a little bit scared of what's going to happen to me. But at the same time, I live a very Mexican life. And so I'm so happy that every day I wake up and I can hear the birds singing outside my window, and I have a beautiful cat who's made me his human, and I take care of him. And I have wonderful children living in my street that have known me since the day they were born. And so that makes me happy because even though I might be their weird uncle, who looks a little different and wears all black clothing and doesn't speak the language that they speak properly, they know I'm part of their lives. I mean, how cool is that? I have like 4 little children where I live that are the children of the family I live with. And they all know me as just me. They don't know that I'm an extranjero. They don't know that I'm this or that or anything. I'm just the guy who lives with them. And so that makes me happy. That makes me so happy. Look at my face. I'm smiling. And we say in English, you have to be careful because if you smile too much, your face might freeze. So, yeah, they make me happy.
Thank you. Great. And finally, I want to ask you, what do you recommend or could tell to the people to watch this to before and the after to read your book? And what do you expect from tonight, from this thing?
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks.
Firstly, don't be mistaken. I'm not a saint. I'm a survivor.
Right.
That means that sometimes I have had to do things that I wish I didn't have to do. It means that I've made mistakes. It means that I've had arguments and fights with people I care about. It means that I've reacted to difficult situations in a way that I wish I hadn't. So yes, I'm giving a workshop on how to better cope with trauma and mental health and addiction, how to make ourselves better. But I'm not here saying, oh, I'm all healed and I'm great and I'm a psychologist and all this. Nah. I'm saying I'm a person who lived this, who has to live it every day. No, because I choose to live it every day. I am a person who chooses to make everything better. So I came here tonight, like here in Abierto, and last night in Salamanca, and on Sunday, and forgive me for my bad pronunciation, Querétaro. Okay, and Sunday in Querétaro. And next week in Atizapan, Zaragoza, and Estado de Mexico, and I keep going. Because I am a living, walking example of having a lot of really bad things happen to you and choosing to smile, choosing to love, choosing to see beauty, choosing to make things better in my life and in the lives of the people around me. And if I make a mistake, and if I do something wrong, then I am responsible for that. And there's power. There's power in that. We can solve so many of our problems by simply acknowledging when we're wrong. So I'm wrong about many things. And I'm right about many things. But my choice is to continue to learn each and every day from all my experiences. So when I make a mistake, like we were talking earlier about bad people, okay? Some of those people can change their lives for the better as well. Some of those people can transform their lives. I'm just one person. So I'm here speaking tonight in Irapuato about being human and taking our experiences, looking at ourselves in the mirror or looking within ourselves, examining ourselves and trying to make ourselves better. And so what do I expect to happen tonight? I think every chair in this room is going to be going to have a person sitting in it. I think we're going to have a beautiful conversation, which is going to begin by me sharing a bit about my story. I'm going to read some from this book, and then the people who are present are going to be able to choose passages from this book that they like, and some of the passages are titled "Si tu compañero animal te ama incondicionalmente," if your animal companion loves you, if your dog loves you, if your cat loves you, they must know what they're talking about because you treat them right. You give them love. So they love you. And so if your animal companion loves you, then there's something good about you. Something good about you. You can build upon that. Or, ¿Cómo entender cuando alguien te dice que necesitas amarte más? Like, how do you deal with when someone says you have to love yourself more? Well, learn. Take action. Take responsibility. No more excuses. No more blaming other people for your decisions. You can say, those people hurt me. That person did something unfair. I've been victimized with this injustice. However, I still have power in this moment to make myself better. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do every day. And for the people who come here tonight, it's my responsibility to do my very best that when they leave this wonderful gallery tonight, that they leave in a better state, a better condition than they came. And if I can accomplish that, then I've done something good in the world for others and for myself. And I can hopefully have ensured that tomorrow will be a better day than today. That's what this is all about. Thank you so much to the people of Irapuato for welcoming me to your beautiful and complicated city for the third time. I send you all a huge abrazo fuerte, and I wish you all peace, happiness, success, stability, and love. And next time I come here, I hope to see some of you here and to shake your hand. A lot of respect, a lot of gratitude to all of you, and I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time. Wonderful answer, and we hope to see you soon again in Irapuato.
I hope so as well.